Hello and welcome to a Brothers Creed movie review, where we review the best movies and some that aren't so good either. We're the Thomas Brothers, and I'm Jared.
And I'm Ethan. And today we're actually going to review the Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out in early 2023. So we're going to go through all the ins and outs of the movie, what we thought. The first probably 5 to 10 minutes is going to be a non-spoiler review where we'll step through our rankings and we'll give it an overall score without any spoilers. And then we'll dive into the spoilers edition, where we will dig a little bit deeper into each one of the scores on our ranking chart and why we gave it that specific score.
All right, let's dive in.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Most valuable commodity I know of is information.
And that, my friends, is called integrity. That's called courage. Now that's the stuff leaders should be made of.
Either you're somebody or you're nobody.
You're not the devil. You're practice.
All right, so to start us off here, I want to share a few stats. I want to see if you can name any video game movies that were based off of video games. I have a list here of the top, let's see, 100 top 50 video game movies. I want to see if you can hit any on the list.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider's on there. There's actually two Tomb Raiders.
Uncharted.
Let's see. Tomb Raider with Laura. Tomb Raider.
That was Angelina Jolie.
The newer one. That one actually was at $274 million in the box office.
Yeah.
Laura Croft.
The older ones had
$274 million.
Angelina Jolie.
Actually, that's funny. They both were $274 million. One was 2001 and one was 2018.
Oh, nice.
The 2000 Angelina Jolie was super hot in the other one, so interesting. Another couple other ones. Sonic the Hedgehog, $320 million. That was in 2020. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 doubled. No, it didn't double it, but it added about $100 million. So it was $405 million, and that's in 2022.
What about Uncharted?
Uncharted, yep, that was $400 million. What is that about?
That's the one that they go searching for those boats and stuff and hidden treasure. That's with Mark Wahlberg and the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, that one I didn't like as much.
I thought it was pretty good.
See if you remember this one. Need for Speed.
Yeah,
that one had
Need for Speed.
I think that one had
Jesse Pinkman,
Aaron Paul in it. Yeah, Jesse Pinkman. And then what about this one? Do you remember
Doom?
Doom,
that
yeah,
one?
Doom.
The Rock was in that one.
Yeah, it was. That movie was actually a flop, dude. It
it was.
The budget was like $70 million, and it only made like $58 million. Let's see. Hitman, Agent 47.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie.
Mortal Kombat, 2021. There was an older Mortal Kombat too.
Yeah.
Oh, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, 1997. That one grossed $51 million. Let's see. Resident Evil. There's tons of Pokemons. Super Mario Bros. The old one, the live action one, 1993, $38 million. So I say all this because I'll give you the number two. The number two movie was Warcraft. That was in June 2016, $439 million. And the number one spot, only being released in April 5th, so at this point, almost exactly a month ago, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is the one we're talking about today, $1.175 billion.
Really?
So, it blows these other guys out of the water.
I wonder if that's because globally there's more interest in Mario globally than
Sonic?
Yeah, well.
Or
yeah, I mean Mario's
Pokemon?
like the most
Pokemon? Dude, Pokemon.
Well,
Pokemon's
yeah,
number 3 on the list at 433 million.
Yeah.
Rampage.
I don't know.
Rampage was that one with The Rock that was like that monkey, you know?
I didn't know it was a video game.
Yeah, it was 428 million. That came out in 2018.
Yeah. Mario is just like such an iconic. You think of like video games and it's
Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like probably the most popular video game that's ever existed.
Yeah, so it was received very well.
Yeah.
And they did awesome. It was just crazy how much of a gap there is. Most popular video game, highest grossing video game adaptation film ever made. So, anyway, thought I'd share that right off the top. But let's get into our reviews. So what we do is, Ethan, why don't you go ahead and explain what we do here?
Yeah. So what we do is we have, I think 5 different categories that we go over. We do cinematography, and these are ranked from 1 to 10. So cinematography, plot/story, acting and actors. How was the acting? Another one is agenda. Was there like a political agenda pushed in it? And that's kind of not really number, more right or left. And then creed building. And then we add all those up, average them out to get our total creed score.
Yep. All right, so let's do the first one. You go first.
So for cinematography, I guess at this point we're not giving spoilers away. So cinematography, I said it's kind of hard with an animated movie, but I said it was a 7.
Yeah, I also said it was a 7. Okay, so plot and storyline.
I gave it an 8.
Oh yeah, I gave it a 7 as well.
Okay.
Acting and talent.
Acting, actors, and talent. I gave that one a 7.
I give that one an 8.
Okay.
Agenda pushing.
I didn't get a whole lot of agenda pushing either way, but I almost feel like because it wasn't pushing left, that it was almost leaning right. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That and me just knowing that Chris Pratt is like super religious.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't a Disney movie.
Well, let's see. There wasn't any like LGBTQIA type stuff in the movie.
No.
There wasn't anything like it was a story about brothers, and they were going on a journey together. There wasn't anything like weirdly sexual, or Bowser was kind of obsessed with Peach, but it wasn't it wasn't weird.
It was like a crush though.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was like guy-girl crush. It was traditional. Mario and Luigi had like a traditional family.
Yeah.
And so I said it was kind of rightward leaning. Slightly.
Yeah, the one thing I do have kind of one thought on this, but I can share it a little bit later about like one thing I thought was interesting. Well, I can share it now. It's interesting in the movie, Peach kind of takes on more of an active role, and isn't just like the princess that needs to be saved. She's actually the one that helps train Mario.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Which is a little bit of a different take. I don't really see that as like, it was like not like the crazy left-wing feminists like you see nowadays that's like, oh, hate men or kill men, It was like a healthy dosage to where like she's capable, she's a queen, she can do it. But it wasn't like overboard.
Yeah, and the whole thing was they're working together.
Yeah.
Right? They both want, it's not like she wanted to succeed over anyone else, like they're both working together. So I
But at the same time, like they're able to like work in where like Bowser wanted to marry her and all this kind of stuff. So like they maintain like the feminine aspect of like Peach and like Bowser wanting to like marry her and stuff. But at the same time, they made her capable and this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what did you?
All right. So what did you give for?
I put.
Okay. Career building.
Oh, for agenda, I put none. But I think I agree with you that because there wasn't anything like crazy left. Maybe it was a little bit more right, but I like to think. But is that the world that we live in nowadays? Is this dichotomy where it has to be left or right? Can it just be like none? Can we just look at lens of none?
Can it just be fun? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I
Like
think
through
that's
the lens of a child almost,
yeah,
or something.
I think
like.
that's what it was. There weren't overt messages trying to be pushed, or not so overt, or so it was pretty good. I liked that. The Creed building, I put 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I said an 8.
Yeah,
8 out of 10 on that one. So my total overall score was a 7.5 out of 10.
I came in 7.25.
All right, close.
Pretty close. What was your quote on the movie?
You go. You tell yours first.
A wholesome, kid-friendly adventure that refreshingly entertains without woke undertones.
Nice. Yeah. So I said a story of a thrilling adventure of two brothers overcoming all odds.
Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people like the movie because it wasn't like some bisexual relationship or some kind of, weird thing. Like there was one Strange World that came out that had something in it, and then there was like Buzz Lightyear had something weird in it. Like it's like, dude.
Well, yeah, his captain was like married to another woman or something and kissing this other woman in this movie.
Yeah, it's like Disney just keeps pushing this stuff because they've obviously stated, oh yeah, we want to push LGBTQA stuff in everything we do. No wonder they're tanking. So
thank you, DeSantis. What?
Well, hey, they're doing that to themselves. DeSantis doesn't have anything to do with them tanking. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And I think this is a clear example of how not going that direction is like people want something that just doesn't. I don't have to explain to my kids why women kiss women after a kid's movie, or why someone is attracted, why a boy is attracted to another little boy.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Anyway,
well, if at this point we're going to get into the spoiler section, so if you haven't seen the movie or if you plan to see the movie, then you can see it and then come back, or you can just listen through and you can hear what we have to say about the whole movie.
All right,
Jared, you go ahead first with cinematography. What'd you think about that?
I thought it was well done.
So state your score again, and then
7 out of 10. It's like not. It was done really well, very crisp and clean. It's not like the old school, Toy Story, but it's still an animated movie, and it's a lot easier to do stuff like that with the animated movie. I thought it was still good. I thought like the visuals at the beginning of like Bowser's castle like leaking lava all over the place, and then all the Koopas and coming out and I thought the pipes and everything, just there was a lot of little Easter eggs in that movie. If you just kind of looked around, which was cool.
Yeah, I agree. For an animated film, it was really good. I watched it with my kids, and they really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's kind of interesting. I wish they would have done something like, so basically the first portion of the movie, it's Mario and his brother, and they're in New York or Brooklyn where they live, and it's just like real life, and they're trying to start this plumbing business, and everyone around them's telling them, oh, you can't do it or whatever, and then they go to fix this main leak in the middle of the city, and they get sucked into this pipe or something like that transport them into another world, right? And this
dimension,
is like the Mario world. I think it would have been kind of cool if the first portion of the movie would have been like live action, and then they got pulled into like the Mario world. Then they would have been transformed into cartoons or animated. I think that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Yeah.
Because it would have been like super relatable, right? As like, brothers and everything else, and trying to start this thing, and then they got sucked in, and it would have been even more of like this crazy, like them eating the mushrooms and growing and stuff like that. Like it would have been even more wild.
Yeah.
But then just being animated the whole time is just like, well.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. Because there's only like 5-10 minutes at the beginning.
Yeah, it wasn't very long before
Yeah.
they got. Yeah.
That would have been cool. I thought,
And then in the
yeah.
end, they came back to the
Uh-huh.
real world, and if they would have, it would have been like a mix of animated, like what was that Rabbit show, Roger Rabbit?
Oh,
Who Framed
yeah,
Roger
yeah.
Rabbit, where it's like
yeah,
it's like cartoons and people, like the real world mixed.
yeah.
That'd have been interesting.
Who would have played Peach?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was saying in Peach, because it seemed like Peach was like a human that got
Yeah,
just sent there, by accident somehow, and she would have like, I mean, she could have been played by the same actress that played her.
Oh
her.
yeah, yeah. It was the
The lady from the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's the Anaya Taylor-Joy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She would have been good. I like
Yeah.
how like when they do animated stuff, like with Jack Black in Jack Black played Bowser. The funniest line in the movie is when like at the beginning they go to the penguins and like the penguins like they throw a bunch of snowballs at Bowser. Like that's just a taste of our power. Do you yield? And he's like, I do not. And like you can almost see on Bowser's face. I could just see Jack Black like almost in his face. It's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
That was a funny line.
Yeah. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 there. I thought, it was good. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah. Next one.
For plot and story. So I've got a couple in this one. I gave it an 8. I thought it was good. I liked how the beginning they were kind of like average Joes. They were just trying to start a plumbing business and they're just trying to get by and
Yeah,
whatever
that was
else.
cool.
And then they're trying to, save the city or whatever and got sucked into this pipe that
Mhm.
took them to the Mario world. I liked, and you had mentioned this earlier, but I liked how they implemented all these like nuggets into like different components into the game into the movie, like the mushrooms and the turtle shells and the bombs,
Firepower.
and
Yeah.
at the very end whenever they were getting married,
Uh-huh.
like the different bosses were there, like
Yeah.
the bomb boss was there and a couple of the other bosses
the
were
ghosts.
there. Like,
Yeah. Boo. King
I
Boo.
thought that was really cool. Yeah, and it was just like the different things that they could hit the question marks and get or they could if they ate the little fire plant they would have firepower, and so it was just kind of cool how they implemented that and how Peach was she was like teaching Mario these things.
Mhm.
And so I like that. I thought it was funny how Bowser was kind of like a softie singing about, it's like peaches, 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 peaches.
Yeah.
And but then like his guys his like servants or whatever would come around, he'd be like, it's just-
Yeah.
but like in secret he's like playing the piano and like love struck with Peaches. So
Oh yeah.
I thought it was good.
I thought that was kind of funny when he was going through the tubes. Mario was going through the tubes, and he was like slamming against the walls.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, that's how it would be in reality,
Yeah.
And then I thought it was funny when when Bowser was doing all this stuff, like pretending that like the wizard guy was Peaches, and like they were like dancing, and he was like, "Oh, Peaches," all this stuff, It reminded me of Spaceballs. Remember when the scene when he's like sitting in his office and he's like he has like the two like dolls.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, your helmet is so big," or whatever. And they start kissing, and this guy walks. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he's
He's
like,
like, nothing.
"Yeah,
Are you playing with your dolls again?
yeah."
No.
That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, I thought the cinematography was. Oh no, excuse me. The plot and the story. I think it was obviously kind of predictable, right?
Yeah.
It was. My kids have played Mario Odyssey, and it's like almost the exact same story as Mario Odyssey. It's like Bowser comes, he tries to marry Peach. There's a wedding at the end. You have to save him, and then you have to beat Bowser at the end. And so it was almost exactly the plot of that game, but overall it was good.
Yeah. I like the storyline of like, and this kind of goes into a little bit of like the Creed building kind of for me as well, but I like the family oriented storyline. I liked that, there were two brothers, they were sticking together. They were, standing up for each other.
Oh
and
yeah,
it
at
was
the
like
end when Luigi like saves his brother with the
with the,
manhole cover.
yeah, whenever Bowser shoots fire at him.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like,
Yeah.
Luigi.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's kind
'cause-
of like, cause there's like, they have this flashback of when Luigi was little and he was building a block tower, and some kid came and squished the tower, or whatever, and Mario came in and stepped in and was like saving him or whatever, and it kind of like the whole theme of the movie was that Mario, I got to go find Luigi, I got to go save Luigi, but then at the end it was kind of like Luigi saved his big brother,
Yeah.
and
like
and,
that.
and it was just kind of like there, and then they both got the star, and
Yeah.
it took both of them together to go, and and they were like, oh, now we're equals and we're running together, and so I thought it was good.
Yeah, totally.
Actors in acting
And talent.
in talent, yeah, I'd put a 7 for this one. I didn't feel like any of the voices were awkward. I felt like they were good. I mean, Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. I thought they were pretty good. I didn't have much to complain there.
No, I thought it was. I thought it was actually a little bit better than pretty good. I put it 8 out of 10. I thought Jack Black was just so funny. I got the boys, my boys. They're just like in their room listening to. They're like, Alexa, play Jack Black, and it's like peaches, peaches, and they're like, play
I
other
was gonna
songs.
say,
by-
that could be dangerous
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, and I was like, they're like, play more songs by Jack Black. I was like, well, you guys got to be careful with that. There's some Tenacious D songs that are pretty risque for a 7 and an 8-year-old. But I thought he did just such a great job. A lot of people criticized Chris Pratt because he didn't do the voice the whole time, but I think that would have been annoying if he did the Mario voice the whole time.
I thought it was kind of funny though how they were like, because when they did the commercial at the beginning, they did a commercial for their plumbing business.
Yeah.
And then whenever they watched it, Luigi was like, are the accents too thick? And he's like, no, I think they're perfect. It's me, Luigi.
Yeah.
I thought that was a funny way to like
Bring in the accent. Yeah.
like bring in the accent, but like not have to maintain it the whole time.
Oh yeah, wahoo! Yeah, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. So I thought Mario was really good. Also the Michael Keegan Key the Keegan
From
Michael
Key and
Keegan Michael
Peele?
from Keegan. Yeah, he was Toad, and I thought he was funny too.
Yeah.
And I could tell it was him because he's just a funny guy. Seth Rogen. Usually I don't like Seth Rogen, but I think in this one he actually did pretty good. So, if I'm watching a movie and I think Seth Rogen's doing good, and I'm like, hey, maybe this is a decent acting job.
It's not Pineapple Express.
Nah, Seth Rogen. He sometimes he just like acts like it's like the way he says things. It's like, oh, he sounds like he should be funny, but a lot of times he's just not funny. So, I think he did a good job in this movie, though.
Yeah. So for agenda, we kind of already talked about agenda a little bit. I felt like it was a positive agenda. Maybe that's a better word
Yeah.
than saying right leaning agenda.
Yeah.
But I thought that we kind of talked about how Peaches kind of had more of a
Active role.
dominant or an active role and whatever. And I thought it was funny how when she was training Mario to go through this obstacle course thing, she was like, oh, it's okay, you'll get it, and she was like, everybody falls the first time or whatever, and he was like, I bet you got it the first time, and she was like, well, no, whatever, and then he was like, you got it the first time, didn't you? And she was like, yeah. So, but the thing is too is that she had like grown up in that world, and so she, had experience and everything else, but it didn't feel derogatory at all towards Mario.
Oh yeah, it was encouraging. Yeah. It wasn't like trying to diss him.
No, it definitely felt like a partnership for sure.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah.
So I think Creed building is similar. We talked about that. I think there's the bond between the brothers. I like that, and like just on the journey to defeat the big bad guy, and seems like along the way they considered quitting, and they're in pretty dire straits, but Mario overcame that and helped save his brother. Then his brother helped save him. So
yeah. I thought it was one thing too is that so family sticks together. That was one of the things I had for Creed building. I had given this one an 8 because I thought it was pretty good. Another thing that I kind of saw was his family or their family they were not very supportive of them.
No.
You know, they were giving him a hard time. You guys are going to fail at this business. You guys are doing terrible. I think his dad told Mario, like, you're leading your brother astray or whatever. He was giving him a
Get
really
a real
hard
job
time
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but it was like that they pushed through this adversity, even when people who were closest to them were saying that they couldn't do it, or that
Yeah.
they, weren't able to do it. Obviously, they had the skills. I mean, to fix things, and they were able to do it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It kind of felt like another thing too is just kind of getting out of your comfort zone, and like accepting sometimes that, I don't know, like when Mario was like, "Oh, I hate mushrooms,"
Yeah.
and then he like kept having to eat the mushrooms to like grow big.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to put yourself out of your comfort zone for something better.
Yeah. Totally agree.
So
Yeah.
that's why I gave it an 8.
I think that's good. Yeah, I agree with all that.
Another metrics we look at is, do you need a home theater to watch this? I would say no.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but
This,
But
I mean,
it
like
was
John Wick, that was one you want to go see in the theater because it's like that was
potentially,
that was,
yeah.
that was my first 10 out of 10 for cinematography on John Wick.
Yeah.
We had some mixed reviews on John Wick, so if you haven't heard the podcast on that one, go back and listen to that one. But
John Wick 4.
yeah, this was a decent to see. You can see this at home. You don't need to pay
Yeah.
$100 to go see it
wh-
with your family.
One last thing, kind of quote from the movie that I really enjoyed was, and they actually said this a couple times, but first off, Mario said it to Luigi, and he said, "As long as we are together, nothing can hurt us." And then whenever Luigi saved Mario from the fire at the end with the manhole cover, he looked at Mario, and they looked at the star, and Luigi said to Mario, "Nothing can hurt us if we stick together."
Nice.
And so they both said different iterations of it. So I like that part.
that is cool. Yeah.
So, well, if you haven't seen the movie, or if you have seen the movie, let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree with our rankings, or do you think it was good? Do you think it was terrible? We're interested to know.
Definitely, I would say it's worth seeing. The kids really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. The kids would probably give us at least a point or two higher than we gave it. So they absolutely loved it. So
Yeah, they keep asking to watch it again, and I'm like, when it comes out, maybe, I don't know.
yeah, we'll buy it for the van. Yeah, for the road.
Seriously.
All
All
right.
right. Well, this has been great. Good movie review. There's many, many more to come of great movies that Jared and I go see and apply them to our own personal creeds. So hopefully this has helped you develop a little bit into a better and better person, and let's build the creed together.
Let's do it.